Hello friends, welcome back to another episode of Movies and Melodies. Today it's about one of my favorite music directors actually, and also one of probably the most underrated of music directors in the Hindi film industry, Chitragupt Srivastav. He was born in 1917 in a small place in Bihar, Karmaini. And he was born to a very well-educated family. He himself was extremely well-educated. In fact, he had two master's degrees, one in economics and one in journalism. His older brother, Brij Nandan, he was called Brij Nandan Azad because he was a very fervent and kind of a staunch patriot and was very involved in the freedom movement of India. He, in fact, was jailed for his part in the Quit India movement and so on. Brij Nandan ji was very strict with Chitragupt ji. He was 11 years older, so he was almost paternal in his role, and he made sure his younger brother was well educated. Both brothers were also very musical, and they both learnt Hindustani music. In fact, Brij Nandan ji was actually a very good tabla player. Chitragupt ji, however, was more interested in the vocal side of things. His secret desire was actually to become a singer. He also liked to compose music. But his brother was not a person who would encourage him in, going into the movies. Brij Nandan ji was actually the author of several hard-hitting editorials in the Indian National Daily, Indian Nation, and its Hindi counterpart, Aryavarta. Chitragupt ji found a job as a lecturer in Patna University in economics. He was there for a little while, and that's where he met a good friend of his, Madan Sinha. Madan Sinha later on became a cinematographer for Bollywood. Madan Sinha convinced Chitragupt ji to move to Bombay and look for a job in the film industry. So he went to Bombay. He knew no one at the time, and he managed to get an introduction to Srinath Tripathi, who was a very famous music director at the time. S.N. Tripathi composed music for a lot of mythological kind of movies, and when Tripathi ji met Chitragupt ji, he took to him immediately and he made him his assistant. He was a very good mentor, a very encouraging man who wanted to see this young man succeed in his own right. He also helped him get his first break in composing a music for a movie with the fearless Nadia in it. This was in 1946. It's a movie called Lady Robin Hood, and I think it was made by the Wadia brothers. And the music was actually a big hit. The movie was also a hit, and Chitragupt ji ended up getting kind of typecast as music director for stunt movies and mythological movies. I'll talk a little bit later about his first big break into the A-grade movies, but for the first song that I want to share, it's from a movie called Bhabhi. Bhabhi was a big hit. It was an AVM production, which was a southern producing house. And it was directed by Krishnan Panju, who went on to direct a lot of southern movies and Hindi movies for the southern banners. The movie was actually based on a Bengali movie called Banga Gora, which was based on a book by a Bengali author. The movie was very melodramatic, about brothers living together, and yet there is disharmony and unrest and the dividing of the family happening when a couple of wealthier daughters-in-law come into the house and ruin things for people and so on. And there was also a whole child widow rehabilitation kind of part to the story as well. Music was beautiful. People really appreciated the music. Chalu Ud Ja Re Panchi by Mohammad Rafi pretty much became like a daily ritual almost on Vivid Bharati. The song that I'd like to share is a duet by Rafi Saab and Lata ji. Lyrics for all the songs were by Rajendra Krishan. And it's a very sweet song picturized on a wedding night and so on. Pandari Bai, Balraj Sahani are the main leads, with Shyama, Anant Kumar, Jagdeep and Nanda cast opposite each other. So this one is picturized on Shyama and Anant Kumar. Chupa kar meri aankhon ko.
Chupa kar meri aankhon ko, wo पूछे कौन है जी हम, मैं कैसे नाम लूं उनका, जो दिल में रहते हैं हरदम. छुपा कर मेरी आँखों को वो पूछे कौन है जी हम, मैं कैसे नाम लूं उनका, जो दिल में रहते हैं हरदम.
न जब तक देख ले वो दिल तो कैसे दोबारा आए, न जब तक देख ले वो दिल तो कैसे दोबारा आए.
तुम्हारी इस अदा पर भी हमारे दिल को प्यार आए, तुम्हारी ये शिकायत भी मोहब्बत पे नहीं है कम. छुपा कर मेरी आँखों को वो पूछे कौन है जी हम, मैं कैसे नाम लूं उनका, जो दिल में रहते हैं हरदम.
AVM Productions from the south had made Bahar, which is a remake of a Tamil movie, and they had used S.D. Burman for music. Now the movie itself was a big hit and the music was a super hit. So naturally they wanted to reuse S.D. Burman for the next movie that they were making, which was Shiv Bhakt. Now Burman Dada was not very comfortable with the whole religious music angle. So he requested Chitragupt ji to go meet with the AVM execs. They met, they liked each other immensely, and this began Chitragupt ji's very, very long and fruitful association with AVM, and also his first big break into the A-grade movies. He composed music for Shiv Bhakt and did very, very well. The music was a huge hit. And after that, AVM used him a lot actually for all of their Hindi productions. The next song that I want to share is from a Rajendra Kumar Mala Sinha starrer called Patang. Came out in 1960. The movie was sort of an average box office hit. The story was kind of a melodrama, of course, kind of convoluted-ish. Children, childhood friends, they're playing during Diwali, there's a firecracker accident, and the young girl gets burnt and she loses her eyesight. So the guilt that the young boy feels over this incident motivates him to become an eye doctor and, operate on his friend, and the story goes on. The music, however, was beautiful for this movie, very, very beautiful songs. And the next one that I want to share is a Lataji solo picturized on Mala Sinha. Rang dil ki dhadkan bhi lati to hogi.
रंग दिल की धड़कन भी लाती तो होगी, याद मेरी उनको भी आती तो होगी. रंग दिल की धड़कन भी लाती तो होगी, याद मेरी उनको भी आती तो होगी.
Chitragupt ji went into music making with no fixed kind of a picture of, I want to make only this kind of music or whatever. He was actually quite versatile, and he liked composing, very traditional classical based kind of music, as well as kind of peppy westernized numbers. In fact, he was one of the first few people who used the claviolin as a bean in one of his earlier movies, and then later on it was used in Nagin for Manudole, for the bean sound. In 1962, there was this movie that came out. It was a murder mystery suspense kind of a movie called Opera House. It starred Ajit, who later went on to become a villain, and B. Saroja Devi, who was a southern actor. This was her debut Hindi movie. The movie was okay, some odd kind of a murder mystery movie, nothing to write home about, I guess it was kind of a low budgetish movie, poorly edited, all of that stuff. Music was very, very nice, however. So the next song that I want to share is a very peppy duet sung by Lata ji and Mukesh ji. देखो मौसम क्या बहार है,
देखो मौसम
क्या बहार है,
सारा आलम
बेकरार है,
ऐसे में क्यों हम
दीवाने हो जाए ना।
देखो मौसम
क्या बहार है,
सारा आलम
बेकरार है,
ऐसे में क्यों हम
दीवाने हो जाए ना। छलकी छलकी
चांदनी भी है,
हल्की हल्की
बेखुदी भी है,
ऐसे में क्यों हम
यहीं पर खो जाए ना। ठंडी ठंडी रेत में जलवों की बरसात है,
क्या मस्ताना है समा, क्या मतवाली रात है।
ठंडी ठंडी रेत में जलवों की बरसात है,
क्या मस्ताना है समा, क्या मतवाली रात है।
ओ सपने बिखरे
मोड़ मोड़ पे
आके नैना
जोड़ जोड़ के,
ऐसे में क्यों हम
दीवाने हो जाए ना। छलकी छलकी
चांदनी भी है,
हल्की हल्की
बेखुदी भी है,
ऐसे में क्यों हम
यहीं पर खो जाए ना।
Chitragupt ji was a very principled man. Even though he started making music for the A-list movies, he never gave up his connection with the Wadia brothers. He made sure that he always had time for their movies as well. And, the Wadia brothers really appreciated his dedication and loyalty to them. They all remained very good friends throughout their lifetime. Kishore Kumar was another such. He respected Chitragupt ji a lot. In fact, he called him Maharaj. And the two of them collaborated where Kishore Kumar sang a lot of songs for Chitragupt ji actually. So Ganga Ki Lehre, starring Kishore Kumar with Kumkum, Dharmendra and Savitri and Aruna Irani, a lot of others. That movie was actually a big hit, and the music was a huge hit. Chitragupt ji again, of course, with Majroo Saab's lyrics. So this next is a duet picturized on Kumkum and Kishore Kumar. I would highly recommend you watch it only for Kishore Kumar. Kumkum is great, she's very charming and all of that, but he is absolutely adorable in his craziness. No one else had that kind of confidence as a hero to act so kooky and so crazy. Oh, he's so awesome. Lata ji has sung this duet with Kishore Kumar, Chhedo Na Meri Zulfein.
छेड़ो ना मेरी जुल्फें, सब लोग क्या कहेंगे, सब लोग क्या कहेंगे।
हमको दीवाना तुमको काली घटा कहेंगे, काली घटा कहेंगे।
छेड़ो ना मेरी जुल्फें,
को जानते हैं, वो जानते हैं तुम्हारी बातें। तुम कह लो शर्म इसको, हम तो अदा कहेंगे, हम तो अदा कहेंगे।
छेड़ो ना मेरी जुल्फें, सब लोग क्या कहेंगे, सब लोग क्या कहेंगे। छेड़ो ना मेरी जुल्फें।
Chitragupt ji got along very well with most people. He had no issues with lyricists or actors, producers, directors. He was a man who was very low on his ego. You know, he would be open to suggestions. He was always willing to change things and work, however things needed to go. He worked with Shailendra ji on several Bhojpuri movies. Shailendra ji was, after all, a fellow Bihari. So the two of them actually became good friends. They visited each other frequently, always spoke in Bhojpuri with each other. He also was very good friends with Majroo Sultanpuri. Even people like Sahir Saab, who was a difficult man to work with because he had very exacting standards. And yet Chitragupt ji, when he worked with him for Vasna, had no issues at all. And I think Sahir Saab also appreciated the fact that Chitragupt ji was very well educated and well read. So there was that feeling of mutual respect and appreciation for each other's talents. Mahmood ji also appreciated Chitragupt ji a lot. Chitragupt ji was working on Aulad, which starred Jitendra and Babita in the lead. Mahmood and Aruna Irani sort of provide the comic relief in the movie. Mahmood ji was working on Padosan at the time because it was a house production for him. So he may have been preoccupied with that movie. So when he heard the duet that Chitragupt ji had composed for Aulad, which was going to be picturized on him and Aruna Irani, he said, "No, I don't like this at all. You need to change the whole thing." And Chitragupt ji got very worried. He's like, "Oh my goodness, we're about to record and Mahmood ji doesn't like this. Now what do I do?" So Aruna Irani realized what was going on. So she sat Mahmood ji down and said, "Hey, look, you need to listen to the song properly. Think about the situation that we're going to be filming. This song actually is brilliant. Just listen to it." So then Mahmood ji, of course, being who he was, actually sat down, re-listened to the song, realized that it was actually a very, very good composition and went ahead with it. Manna De, Asha ji have sung this song, Jodi Hamari Jamega Kaise Jani.
जोड़ी हमारी जमेगा कैसे जानी, जोड़ी हमारी जमेगा कैसे जानी। हम तो है अंग्रेजी, तुम लड़की हिंदुस्तानी।
तुमको भी मुश्किल, मुझे भी परेशानी, तुमको भी मुश्किल, मुझे भी परेशानी। बात मानो सैया, बन जाओ हिंदुस्तानी।
जोड़ी हमारे अंग्रेजी मुल्क में कितना रोमांस है, बाहर का छोकरी कितना एडवांस है। अंग्रेजी मुल्क में कितना रोमांस है, बाहर का छोकरी कितना एडवांस है।
देखेगी ना कभी वो इतने प्यार से, मुखड़े पे लाज का आचरवा डाल के, खिलती है सजना घूंघट में जवानी।
जोड़ी हमारी जमेगा कैसे जानी, जोड़ी हमारी जमेगा कैसे जानी।
बात मानो सैया, बन जाओ हिंदुस्तानी।
जोड़ी हमारी।
Chitragupt ji underwent a lot of trials during the early 70s. People were not coming to him for music composition as much in the Hindi film industry. He continued to compose for Bhojpuri and I think even Gujarati films. He was very popular in the Bhojpuri film industry. 1974 saw him suffer a very serious stroke. He actually came out of it and was, I would say, almost 99% back to his old self. His sons, Anand and Milind, say that this was due to sheer willpower and mental strength. He continued on to struggle. In the meanwhile, his sons formed a duo, Anand Milind, and they became a huge hit with their release, Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak, in 1988. That, incidentally, was the same year that Chitragupt ji basically composed his last film songs. He was very proud of the fact that his sons did well. In fact, they won the Filmfare Award and he was so happy about it. Apparently, he told everybody about how thrilled he was because he never won any awards. And he was very, very happy that his sons had achieved something that he had not. In 1991, the beginning of the year in January, he had a heart attack and he passed away. I feel that the Hindi film industry never really appreciated him the way they should have. Probably because, if you're a mild-mannered, very reasonable person who has no ego and is not a ruthless, ambitious kind of a person, people don't seem to respect you and give you the credit you're due. An injustice, but there we go. So for the last song for today, I want to share one. It's probably one of my super favorites from this particular movie, Unche Log. Came out, I think, in 65. Feroz Khan, Rajkumar, Ashok Kumar were basically the leads. Women played almost no part in the movie. The heroine, you don't even really see her face. K.R. Vijaya from the South was the heroine in this movie, cast opposite Feroz Khan. But you only see her from the back or through, like leafy branches and that kind of thing. It's a very interesting story as well. I really enjoyed this movie. It's on YouTube, so you might want to check it out. And Tarun Bose actually has a very interesting kind of a supporting role as well in the movie. Majrooh Sultanpuri wrote all the lyrics. The songs were fabulous. Jag Dile Deewana, I'm sure every one of you would love that song. And there's another very beautiful duet, Lata ji with Mahendra Kapoor, Hai Re Tere Chanchal Nainava. And then this duet that I'd like to share with you. Again, Mahendra Kapoor, Lata ji, Aaja Re Mere Pyar Ki Rahi. It's a beautiful, beautiful song.
आजा रे मेरे प्यार की राही आजा रे मेरे प्यार की राही राह निहारूं बड़ी देर से आजा रे मेरे प्यार की राही राह निहारूं बड़ी देर से आजा रे जो चांद बुलाए मैं तो नहीं बोलूं जो सूरज आए आँख नहीं खोलूं जो चांद बुलाए मैं तो नहीं बोलूं जो सूरज आए आँख नहीं खोलूं मोल के नैना मैं तिहारी राह निहारूं बड़ी देर से
आजा रे मेरे प्यार के राही राह निहारूं बड़ी देर से आजा रे.
That's it for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will be back in 2 weeks. But until then, remember, music is food for the soul. Keep listening.